Good afternoon, traders and friends. Welcome back to the Market Recap. Thank you all for trusting us with your time. Dan will be with me very shortly, and as always, a fascinating trading day. Finally, we get the FOMC minutes out, largely on non-event, and just kind of going over what happened in the markets today. Again, crude oil, somewhat typical. The EIA comes out with a bit of a drop of inventory, and then price drops. You would think supply a little bit lower, price goes a little bit higher. No, to buy the rumor, sell the news event. Even the S&Ps, I think the tightest range we've seen in a year today. This market is hungry for new information and still wrestling with that weekly kickoff high. Gold overnight shorts grounded back to settlement, and then balance ensues. And the euro, 4 days in a tight balance right along that weekly kickoff low. When is that going to change? Looking forward to seeing that day. Hopefully we'll find some good opportunities on that day. Make sure you like, share, comment, question, feedback is always appreciated. Hello, Alan. Hello, Manuel. Good to see you guys here. I'd like to invite Dan into the picture. Dan, how you doing?
John, I'm wonderful. How are you?
Doing well. What's going on?
Nothing. You just said tightest range of the year for the S&Ps?
I believe it is.
For regular trading hours?
Regular trading hours.
Okay. I was like, wait a second. I just glanced at it. Recovered yesterday?
Yes. No, thanks for pointing that out. Yeah, I think it's
only like a 13-point range or something today?
Something like that. Very, very tight range in the regular trading hours.
Thank you for clarifying. We need to double check that one. Actually, hang on. I moved my computer here, or my camera here. It kind of shifted me a little bit. Recenter that. Fun day though. And you know, it's interesting. You were mentioning crude oil there. The whole concept of like, oh, lower supply, price should go up. It doesn't matter. It doesn't work that way anymore.
No.
It hasn't worked that way in like the last year.
It's another buy the rumor, sell the news event.
Right. Okay, the numbers out, sell it. Same thing with Fed statement 2 weeks ago. Numbers out, sell it, even though it's a signal to buy.
Right.
It's a buy signal if they're cutting rates.
It's already in the market.
Factored in already. Everyone's already done with it, and they've moved 6 weeks past, and they're already talking about the next statement.
Right.
You know, it just things have changed a little bit,
Yeah.
and maybe it's summer trade, and who knows, but.
It's always, buy the rumor, sell the news. Everybody thinks the number's going to come out bullish. They're already long. Nobody left to buy it.
Right.
Goes the other direction.
Exactly.
Goes the other direction.
And I don't mind watching crude oil sell off a little bit.
No.
Never mind that.
Well, it tried to accept above weekly kickoff high today in the regular trading hour session.
Rejected.
Big unable.
Big rejection.
Big unable.
It's like John back in college, rejected all the time.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I kid.
It was not that pick 'em up easy guy,
Nice day though. I think what did we say yesterday? Everything was kind of quiet, waiting for some information. We got some information today. Fed's basically coming out and saying, look, nothing's changed after what I said a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
We're still
So
standing
you've had
by.
a chance to kind of look into it a little bit. I haven't had the chance.
Little bit.
Yeah.
I think we're going to continue to find out more over the next couple of days. But basically, like, hey, it was just a course adjustment. Like, we had just adjusted our stance slightly.
Right.
We know where we want to be, and we realized that, hey, we were 25 basis points higher than where we wanted to be. No talk about cutting again in September. Basically said, deal with it. Everybody deal with it. I'm sure it was directed at one person more than most, but I'm not going to go there.
Maybe.
Powell basically said, deal with what you got. The markets are still good.
Yeah.
The economy is still strong. We're not in a bad spot.
Right.
And can't argue that.
Yeah. Maybe they're saying, hey, settle this thing with China.
Right. That'll be interesting when it comes out of that one.
You're right.
And so President Trump's been talking a lot about taxes and what could be coming up in the future, payroll taxes, things of that nature. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be interesting to keep an eye on. And
there's a lot of balls in the air right now. It's like,
oh yeah, we're juggling a lot of things, so it's interesting. But well, we'll save that stuff for when we talk about the news. We still got to talk about these markets.
Yeah, let's check it out.
Let's check them out.
All right. Usually we're starting with the daily and crude, and keeping with that, here's our attempt at accepting above weekly kickoff high. Of course, the FOMC or the EIA meeting announcement, there was a little bit of a draw, but it didn't bring price higher. This is going to be kind of a tough area of resistance with this trend line, with weekly kickoff high. Take a look at how the day traded out, and it traded out just like we said. Buy the rumor, sell the news. We're wrestling with this lower trend line here, which does have 3 or 4 touch points right along it. A very interesting situation here. This may drive this market a little bit lower. Let's take a look at the E-mini S&Ps. Wow. It really doesn't look that much different from what it looked like this morning on the daily chart. It really hasn't changed. We took a look above weekly kickoff high. We did not accept. We're not necessarily rejecting either. We're just kind of hanging around. Look at how small this range is. I'm going to make it even look even smaller here. Let's see. Now that's a small range, right? No, here. Let's make it look big so we can see what we're looking at. Oh, a little too big. A little too big. See, that's what I get for messing around. All right, here we go. So settlement all the way down here. This is what Dan was talking about. He's like, "What are you talking about? Smallest range? Look at the range, as big as yesterday's and as big as the day before's. Just the regular trading hours is what we were looking at. So 2,800 weekly kickoff high right here. A couple more tries to exhaust sellers up there, just unable to bring buyers into the marketplace enough to continue that market higher. This market is still, in my opinion, and the opinion of many others, looking for more information, and they may get that information as the week goes on with the meeting going on in Jackson Hole. We got jobless claims tomorrow. We've got new home sales on Friday. There's still some information due out this week that may provide us some bigger opportunities in the equities. Gold really doesn't look that much different than it did this morning. Again, we've really kind of taken the market right back to where it started overnight. Overnight shorts, getting a little bit too short, grinding the market right back to settlement, a little bit above, and then kind of falling into range where we are all these markets seem to be just looking for more information. Take a look at the euro here. Okay, euro, 1, 2, 3, 4 days all in a row, like little soldiers sitting on a bench, like birds sitting on a high wire. The move to the downside really just didn't provide much of a bounce at all. We'd call this a dead cat bounce. Let's take a look at what happened in the euro in the 30-minute. 1, 2, 3, 4 days, just almost even highs, even lows. Dan was noticing yesterday what a great opportunity these highs up here are, what a great opportunity these lows down here are. Well, we got that opportunity in the euro today. We didn't break out to the upside. We're still in this range. We're still dragging along the bottom here. When's that going to break? I don't know, but I want to be there that day. So just a kind of a brief look at what happened in these markets today. It's Wednesday. We are 2 furlongs away from the weekend, and we got a lot of business left to do. Still some things coming out.
Absolutely, and I don't know if it was all the fried chicken and peach cobbler I just ate for lunch, or the euro that's making me yawn a little bit.
Right.
But you start talking about the euro, I yawned a little bit.
I know, and I was like excited to show it, but it's just
there's no new information. The trade opportunities are plentiful. I mean, there's
Right.
some really
Sure.
awesome trades you can take out of. I think when you look at a market and you have two extremes so well defined over 3, 4, or 5 days like that,
Right.
it's almost kind of like, well, this is boring making money this easy. Like, our job is difficult. It's not easy to make money. When they make it that easy for you sometimes,
Right.
It's like,
Well-
wait a second, you're not giving me something new.
And I think a lot of retail traders are always looking for the big move. They're always looking for the big breakout. They're always looking for the trend, and they fail to recognize the opportunities in these range type of situations because it makes it very easy to limit the risk. Okay, you know where the extremes are. If we get past this level, this may mean that there's a change coming. I'm out.
Exactly.
Right, but if we keep bouncing from level to level to level to level to level. If you have that strategy in place and that's your hypothesis that we're in range trade, you trade to that hypothesis until proven wrong.
Right.
You may get 8, 10 trades in a row with very little heat and some decent profit opportunities.
Absolutely. There've been plenty of opportunities over the last week trading that euro, and I kind of only kid about. Well, we need more. I'm not that exhausted. Euro doesn't tire me out. I mean, the euro has created awesome opportunity. And like you said, if you can just recognize the opportunity here that it's showing us right now and not where's my next opportunity, if you can recognize that, you're in a great spot because it is so easy to manage your risk when you have
ranges.
Such a simply defined range. If you can define that, you know your risk, therefore you know where you're entering and where you're exiting, and that's it. That's all you have to know. Trading is that simple.
Yeah.
Right?
Piece of cake. Piece of cake.
Define your range, shows your entries, exits, and that's it.
Yeah. Well,
beyond that,
at certain days it doesn't have to be that hard.
Right. It's but
I remember days where I felt guilty because it was easy.
So easy.
Right? I mean, that was easy. I didn't have to work that hard. I just, I had the right hypothesis, the right strategy, and it worked that day. You get over the guilt.
Right.
All right.
Because when you have to give some back a week later, the next day even.
Yeah. And, your competitors would be happy to take it from you.
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, plenty of opportunity here today. I'm excited that these markets, I think the information coming from the Fed, there's still going to be a lot of digestion of that.
I got to sneeze.
Look up at the sun.
I don't want to sneeze. I'm going to blow out people's speakers.
Just hit the mute button on your mic.
Oh, yeah, that's a good. All right, I'll do that if it comes back. I got rid of it. So, all right, what's the news?
All right, so news today, really, the conversation is about what the Fed has to say. Jerome Powell said the rate cut was just a recalibration. That's the term. That's the word he's using. I couldn't think of it earlier. I had to just double check. It's a recalibration. They're not changing their course. They're staying on the exact same course as planned last year. Nothing's changing. I think they recognize, hey, we got a little aggressive with the rate hikes. Let's cut it back a little bit right now. Mm-hmm. But we're going to continue that step forward. So the pressure so far hasn't been enough for him to want to adjust. Time will tell. I mean, the last rate cut, we were sitting at all-time highs, and he cut rates. Like, again, I know equities aren't the only factor when it comes to deciding where we're going to stand with rates, but come on. I mean, he's coming under some pressure. We'll see what happens going forward.
Well, and the last rate cut wasn't even 6 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
So how do we have any time to see how the markets are going to, or the economy's going to react to that?
Right, and that's where I really, really struggle that this rate cut conversation happened so quickly after the last. For 10 years, we had nothing, and now it's like every time everyone wanted those rates to be increased. Me in particular, an options trader based off of volatility. Rates higher means more opportunity for us, and so don't get me wrong, I definitely want to see rates go higher, but everyone was kind of fighting for that for a while. Rates go higher, now everyone's saying, cut them, cut them, cut them, cut them. Like, there's no pleasing everyone, and that's such a tough position for them to be in.
Right?
Exactly. On lighter news, you want to introduce it, John?
It is time for this date in history.
Thank you for the introduction. On this day in history, August 21st, 1959, can you guess what happened?
Elvis.
Not quite.
Beatles.
No.
Stones.
No, it's not music.
Don't know.
On this date, August 21st, 1959, Hawaii became the 50th state.
Oh, well. Welcome.
Right? Well,
Aloha.
yes, exactly. Now I want to go back to Hawaii.
Why, was it my hula dancing?
Exactly.
Yes.
You look like a pig on a spick. Gotta love those pig roasts out there.
Put the apple in my mouth.
I just keep thinking. I've been watching Moana. I've watched that a
Moana?
bunch with the kid, and I love it. And I love Hawaii. It's so beautiful out there. All right, anyhow. And on this day in history, in 1897, can you guess that?
The first automobile.
You're in the neighborhood. Olds Motor Works, also known as Oldsmobile, was founded
Oh,
in 1897.
and that was purely a guess.
It was definitely a decent guess. Mercedes, I think, is credited with the first
The first car.
automobile, if I'm not mistaken. Really quick, because now I'm curious.
And it was a 450 SEL, the convertible, two-seater.
Let's see, automobile. Because now I just want to double check this. Yes, Benz patent motor car was the first automobile developed in 1886. So 10 years later, Oldsmobile out of Michigan was founded.
Interesting.
So
And now they're gone.
now they're gone.
Oldsmobile.
Well, kind of just eaten up by the GM
Yeah.
conglomerate there. But that's what I got. That's our news here today. Still a lot to come out this week.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's going to be some repercussion to what happens with the Fed's terminology used today. How are people going to react to that? I know President Trump has definitely been talking about a lot of different things here the last couple of days. He's been all over the place.
Yeah.
And so I think there's a lot of digestion there as well that we're going to start to see over the next couple of days.
It seems to me that everybody is just waiting for Powell's speech.
Yes, Friday, correct?
9 o'clock Central, I believe.
That will be my cue. As soon as he's done talking, I'll probably be done. So that's what I got for you here today. As always, John, thanks for letting me jump in here. And
Always a pleasure, Dan.
always.
Always.
Everybody, thank you very much, and I will see you guys tomorrow.
All right, so just a reminder, jobless claims, PMI, composite flash, leading indicators, nat gas tomorrow. A few bill announcements, note announcements due out tomorrow. And then Friday, new home sales at the same time as Chairman Powell's speech in Jackson Hole. So still lots of opportunities, still lots of data to come out this week. Looking forward to finishing off the week strong. Hopefully you had a good trading day today. If you're still in the markets, hopefully they're headed your way, but keep your powder dry for tomorrow and Friday. Get a good night's sleep. See you for the forecast tomorrow at 8:15. Trade well.